Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and in today's video I want to talk a bit about some bugs that have happened in BFA recently. One of the bugs was so bad that people actually were just abusing it, and of course actions were taken. The other one wasn't not nearly as major, unless you raid or at high end, and this is one of those things that I feel like Blizzard should have probably fixed at one point or another. So let's talk about the big one first, where people were actually getting banned. So if you ever done the Warfront, the zone with world quests rather than the actual attack on the Warfront, you know, so you can explore and kill the rares, when your faction controls the Warfront, and I feel like most of you guys should have experienced this by now, whether you're Alliance or Horde, EU or NA, because they already have gone through the rotations. Then you will find out that there is a world boss in the new Warfront. It's a big tree ant dude, and you can kill him, and just like in the Arathi, it has a chance for loot, and you can reroll on said loot. Now this rare in particular was bugged as of recently, and it took apparently Blizzard a bit of time to really figure out how to deal with the situation because of a couple of implications. So the general bug was that if you killed the world boss, he would drop you loot like normal and you could reroll. But every time you killed him, you had a chance for loot. So it wasn't like one of those things where once you kill him, that's it, you're locked out until your faction controls the Warfront again. It was one of those things where people could just spam him over and over and over, and even use reroll tokens on mains as well as ults to farm gear. The gear that the world boss drops right now is around 385 item level base. That means 385 Azeroth pieces for every single class, whether you're leather, cloth, plate, or mail. Of course, there's also trinkets as well as other pieces of gear for you to get. Also, that being said, this guy was very easy to kill because you could just hop from group to group. That's doing him right now with LFG. A lot of people can just open up an LFG window, get a whole raid together, and everybody goes kill the rare. You leave, you go hop into another raid, into the next and next and next. Especially when there's like a Tuesday reset, or as soon as everybody found out that this bug is a thing, a lot of people were re-killing this boss over and over and over. But not everybody. It all depends just how egregious you were, and Blizzard did take actions depending on how egregious you got with it. Because let's be honest, I think it's very possible for somebody to go and log on and go kill the world boss because, hey, you haven't got to kill him on your main or an ult, for example. You killed him, you didn't get any loot, you got to reroll, you got artifact power, you weren't all that happy, you left. And you went around killing a bunch of other rares. Maybe you were flying to the south side to kill all the rares south of where the world boss spawns, and he spawned again, and there was a raid killing him, and you're thinking, okay, well, I have all my buffs available, I have all of my burst cooldowns up, maybe I can just burst them down, practice my rotation, whatever it might be. People maybe have just tagged him by accident, and when you kill him, or when he finally dies, you get a chance for gear again, and you get a reroll. So then you're like, wait, this guy bugged? So then you try to queue him again, you just hop into another raid, you kill him very quickly, and yes, you get a piece of gear again, and again it lets you reroll. From there on, there could be two different actions that could take place, and those depend on your morality. Moral one would be, oh, okay, it's bugged. I can't believe it's bugged. That's crazy. I got some pieces of gear out of it, but you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna put in a report. Hopefully I'll be okay. I wonder if my account will get suspended. Nothing I can do about it now. Oh well, and move on with your day. Maybe you were like, okay, I'll just kill him 2 more times and that's it, and I'll leave. Whatever I get is whatever I get. I'm trying to farm from a transmog, whatever might happen. But it was well intentioned. And the other would be to farm this boss over and over and over so you can get all the loot. But then you take it a step further. You farm it for what apparently was hours and hours and hours, because it took Blizzard so long to figure out how to deal with this bug and how to work with it. You kept farming him, and you kept trying to go for Azeroth pieces of gear that are 385. If you scrap 385 pieces of gear, you get a lot more Titan Residium than what you would scrap for a 370 piece of gear. 385 is the item level what you get in a mythic raid. So you were getting a buttload of Azeroth Residium, and you can just go to the vendor with all that Azeroth Residium after just farming this guy for hours and buy the specific Azeroth pieces you want with the Residium you got from farming a world boss and scrapping. And now you have the best in slot pieces of gear where everybody else has to wait for weeks and weeks and weeks doing no Mythic Plus chest until they eventually have enough Residium to buy a piece of gear with the right trades they want. You just were able to farm it up in a matter of hours. Which is why we have a post from Ian Hazacostas responding to this bug, and the way he posted it is this: abused is the key word here. For people who benefited a bit, that's our error, and no one should worry about the punishment for merely stumbling across a bug. Now, if you found it and then you spent literal hours taking advantage of it, that's a different story. Now, one of the things why Blizzard took so long to fix this is because of Titan Residium, and people were apparently using Titan Residium to just go scrap all the Azeroth pieces they got from the world boss, and they would just get the currency, and they were trying to figure out how to get the currency out of players' hands, out of their characters, how to reverse that, how do you reverse all this, because not only are you getting pieces of gear, you're also getting currency out of the pieces of gear. So then you have multiple different parts, I guess. Literally, when you scrap piece of gear, you get multiple different components out of it, usually for crafting, but also you would get this currency, and I'm pretty sure it was a right mess. And it does seem like Blizzard took appropriate action depending on how egregious you were with this bug abuse. If you abused it for quite a bit, then yeah, you're probably going to get a couple days suspension. If you abused it all day long, maybe even for 2 days straight, it could be maybe as big as a week or something. No specific numbers because Blizzard doesn't disclose this kind of stuff, but just want to get you guys' thoughts. What do you think about this bug? I think it's hilarious, and it does kind of show that the game, I mean, we've all known BFA has been kind of a buggy game. I think there is a bug you hear about every 2 weeks. For example, here's another bug in Islands. The long story short about the Islands bug, however, is that so people were queuing Islands during a specific hour, and they found out that they were getting extreme amounts of Azeroth. I don't know exactly just how much they were getting, because Islands is something I just do for weekly cap, but I haven't done it this week at all because it's not the kind of content I am personally interested in. It's just kind of fun to do with friends, so it's not something I do regularly. But I'm pretty sure everybody who's just getting their caps out Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever day it might have been that the bug happened, people were just getting an insane amount for an hour. This one was easy to reverse, as Blizzard simply just took away the Azeroth they got and gave them the Azeroth they were supposed to get for completing those islands, so at least this one was pretty easy to reverse. This one could have had insane implications, and glad no one got banned for it, because they stopped the artifact, or I guess Azeroth knowledge catch-up mechanic that lets you get less Azeroth to unlock the next level. So because this Azeroth knowledge catch-up mechanic is not available as of right now up until the new raid comes out, a lot of high tier raiders just want to grind out their neck so they can unlock all the different bonuses of the gear once they get it from the brand new raid. And because of this, it just kind of feels like a grind. So you have people at the top tier, the best of the best Mythic Plus raiders that want to have the most advantage once the brand new raid comes out, so they can be competitive. A lot of them are kind of in this grind. They have to grind artifact power from any resource, and they have to do it through islands. So this one could have been really bad, because of course it's another way that people could take advantage of the situation, but I guess not quite as egregious here. But I will be honest, the game does have a few amount of bugs here and there, and I feel like we hear about them just about every single week, if not 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks would be, every 2 weeks would be a fair number though. Like if you're just running around through Stormsong and you're Horde, you'll notice there's literally a gap where the water is at. I know that this isn't uncommon for Blizzard. Every time a single new patch comes out, whether it's patch 8.0, 8.1, 7.3, 6.1 with a selfie, of course there's something that gets added in the game. There's updates, but of course you fix certain things, but you break certain things. And it's just something that we're used to from Blizzard games. But I wonder if this is going to make situations worse, because we hear negative stuff about BFA pretty often, I think. I just really want them to, whatever's going on in the background, I really personally would love for it to kind of just stop. I would want for the developers to just be more attentive. I would want a lot of these negative things to just stop appearing, because I feel like, yeah, there's definitely issues with BFA. I feel like it's a decent expansion, not perfect, not quite Legion, which is the the quality that we got out of Legion was actually pretty high, and I think BFA still has opportunity to turn itself around. It's just, you gotta stop stomping into potholes, stop giving people excuses. to badmouth your game, I guess, is the best way to put it. And I really think that's really up to developers. Hopefully they get their stuff together, whatever it is. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts about this brand new bug. Maybe we'll see more bugs. I really hope we don't, but you guys let me know if the bugs are enough to deter you, or if that might be something that is keeping you from not wanting to play the game. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see all of you guys in another one.